Good afternoon. My name is Bill Wood, and on behalf of Indivisible Central Ohio, Common Cause Ohio, and the Westerville Progressive Alliance, I want to welcome you to Hands Along High Street. As you can see, this event has brought out thousands of Central Ohioans, forming a human chain extending miles down High Street. We have come together to deliver the message that we stand united in support of fundamental American values and against the corruption, incompetence, and cruelty that have marked the past 7 months. We are here to stand up for the millions of Americans who will lose health insurance and food aid. Tens of thousands of dedicated public servants whose careers have been terminated. Hungry and sick people around the world dying as a result of supplies of food and medical aid being cut off. Law-abiding immigrants condemned to concentration camps here and abroad. Educators pressured to avoid teaching what they know to be the truth. And so many more. To bring these issues into focus, we have invited representatives of some of these affected communities here to speak for themselves about the damage they are seeing day after day.
Hi, my name is Jared Christian. As a veteran, I'm deeply concerned about what's happening to the VA under this administration. So far, thousands of people have lost their jobs in the VA, with 30,000 planned by end of year. 40% of the doctors being offered roles at the VA are denying the position, leaving 86% of our hospitals for the VA, facing critical doctor shortages. Veterans are waiting months to see doctors. Rural clinics are closing. There are delays in, There are delays in prosthetics and rehab are growing while our mental health care is collapsing. As a veteran, I'm also deeply concerned about our democracy. The right to speak up, to vote, to live free from fear and control. And I worry about the future of the world that I leave my son. I worry what kind of country we're leaving behind. For him and every kid who wants to grow up with a real sense of safety and hope. I don't want him to look back and wonder why we didn't fight harder to make sure that the American dream survives. So thank you all for being here. It means a lot.
Hello, everyone. I'm Catherine Terser from Common Cause, Ohio, and I am here because we are joining hands to defend the U.S. Constitution. We are against the destruction, the corruption, and the dysfunction of the Trump administration. We are horrified by the attempts to undermine elections. We are horrified by the change at the Department of Justice. Historically, the Department of Justice has focused on ensuring that every eligible voter has the right to the ballot and is able to access the ballot. And now the Department of Justice is being used to go after Trump's perceived enemy. I'm horrified by the propping up of election deniers, and I think it's important to remember that on day one, the day of the inauguration, Trump pardoned the election deniers, the January 6th folks who stormed the Capitol. I am so worried, and many of us that are along this have all sorts of different issues. But when we think about what makes democracy work, we need to remember checks and balances. The Trump administration has ignored court orders. The Trump administration has attacked judges. The Trump administration has actually threatened to impeach judges that they do not agree with. Mm-hmm. Now, we know that Trump and his administration have been attacking free speech. We know that they've also violated due process. And, let's face it, we can't forget the emollients clause. That, in fact, we want a president that works for us, that focuses on us. We are horrified by the stripping the power from independent regulatory agencies. And when that happens, it allows corruption to flourish.
That's right.
We are joining hands. You'll see Lady Liberty over here. We're joining hands all the way down High Street because we want a democracy that works for all of us. We deserve transparent, accountable governments. We the people will not stand idly by. We will not stand idly by while our democracy and all of the institutions that we hold sacred are under attack. And so I'm going to encourage the crowd behind me. What do we do when we're under attack?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do when we're under attack?
Stand up, fight back!
And I'm going to encourage folks that are watching this to come down to High Street, join hands with us, because it is going to take all of us to push back on this nonsense and dysfunction. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Morgan Harper, co-founder of Columbus Stand Up. We stand up for working people, especially on economic issues that a lot of us are facing in the community here in Columbus. And we are appalled by this administration's attack on us, hardworking Americans across the country, but again, especially right here in Columbus and across Ohio. These attacks will devastate our finances and health, and all to benefit the largest corporations that are able to strike deals with President Trump in this moment. These attacks have taken many forms. I will just mention a few. One, healthcare. Over 17 million Americans are likely to lose their healthcare coverage because of the attacks from this administration on the Affordable Care Act subsidies and Medicaid, and countless others through needless work requirements that continue to perpetuate this myth that somehow some of us are just looking to not have as much money as is necessary in this life, and the reality, ignoring the reality that is all of us, as a lot of working people need things like Medicaid to survive and support their families and already have jobs.
That's right.
Including 500,000 Ohioans. On food, 5 million people nationwide will likely lose access to SNAP benefits. The administration's policies and Congress, the bill coming out of Congress, will force Ohio now to burden more of the cost of providing this food access. Ohio has no plan for covering this food access, meaning people will continue to be unstable in how they're able to provide for themselves and their children, and not even getting to the attacks on immigrants that we are going to hear from others behind me on that are already impacting how big ag has managed their farming. They will not be able to control costs. This will impact the food costs for all of us. And then costs generally. We have been barreling towards and deeper into an affordability crisis over the last several years, but all of the policies coming out of Washington right now are accelerating it. This will impact what we're hearing from all of us in the community as consumers, as workers, as small business owners, that we will not be able to manage these costs. Goods, services, food, healthcare, utilities, water, and electricity are all becoming hard for working families to manage, and we continue to anticipate that these problems will get worse. Who will survive this? Again, the largest corporations that will have this as an opportunity to price gouge us even further as they continue to hobnob with the president in Florida and in Washington, D.C. This is the American government up for bid to the highest bidder, and we are honored to join hands today with Westerville progressives, thousands across Columbus, to show Washington that our government is not for sale, that our lives matter, that these fights and attacks on American life will not stand, and we will not stop until we win. Thank you.
My name is Chris Orbin. I'm a tenured faculty member in the Nobel Prize-winning physics department at Ohio State University. I stand here to represent concerned faculty, staff, and students who are part of a group called Stand Up for Science Ohio State. And the main message that I have today, I'm going to talk about the situation of science, but let me get to the message first. And it's actually, a hopeful thing happened last week that I want to highlight. Last week, the Senate Appropriations Committee considered the across-the-board cuts to science spending in the U.S. proposed by the Trump administration, and they rejected them. And I am thankful to the Senate Appropriations Committee for doing the right thing for the science budget, for the people of Ohio. And my message today is to implore Senator Marino and Husted to get behind the budget plan of the Senate Appropriations Committee. The attack on science over the last 7 months has been unprecedented. We have a health influencer who is in charge of the Food and Drug Administration. We have the Trump-appointed director of the National Science Foundation resigning in protest due to the changes in that agency. And all of these things express themselves at Ohio State. We have research labs that are being threatened to be closed if the proposed cuts to the National Institute of Health goes through. We have projects that have that have gone on for years or even decades that could easily shut down because of this. For example, the Nancy Grace Grumman Space Telescope, which is a big project, one of the biggest projects ever by the Ohio State University Astronomy Department. The plan right now, according to the Trump administration, is to throw it in a wood chipper, right? That space telescope, which has already been paid for, deserves to be launched into low Earth orbit, not discarded in an anti-science adventure by this administration. Enough. The people that are going to feel the impact of this, these are people like the graduate students at Ohio State who are over there right now on a Saturday, sitting in the lab, working on some of the hardest problems in the world, and they're working on $35,000 a year just to try to make a little bit of progress. Those are the people who are going to be impacted by these grants. Do not throw a generation of young scientists' careers into the waste bin because you feel like it.
That's right.
All we are asking for is that the millionaires and the billionaires pay the same effective tax rates as all of us here, as the camera people here, as the reporter here, as the people watching at home, pay the same effective tax rates as the rest of us, and to use a tiny fraction of that to maintain America's status as the most scientifically advanced country in the world by far. That is what we are asking for.
That's right. Hello, everyone. My name is Mary Mutegi. I am a board member of Community Refugee and Immigration Services, or otherwise called CRIS. This is a local nonprofit that has worked with people in Central Ohio for 30 years and has had the privilege to be part of the immigration journey for tens of thousands of Central Ohioans. Refugees and immigrants have been integral to the identity of this community and the country from the very beginning. With job training, English classes, employment help, refugees and immigrants can quickly become self-sufficient and give back to a local community. Refugees and immigrants are taxpayers, they're business owners, they're co-workers, classmates, friends, and neighbors. They're rightful residents, and many become citizens and voters. CRIS and our peer organizations have recently felt the pain of budget cuts to vital programming, and we hear from our clients every day who are scared for their families, for their livelihoods, and for their loved ones they have been kept apart from overseas due to U.S. government practices and policies. CRIS is concerned with people, not politics. And so we feel that it is important for us to take this opportunity to advocate for the people who are at the core of our mission, whether by volunteering with organizations that serve the local community, supporting their fundraising efforts like the CRIS 5K that's coming on October 4th, or are welcome, or by turning out to make their voices heard at the rally like this one. The people of Central Ohio are making it so clear that this community is a welcoming community. That's right. This community believes in the ideals that the United States has claimed for centuries, and no matter your origin, this is the land of safety and opportunity for all.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.